Side starts right now.
Welcome in, everyone. Hurricane Melissa hitting Jamaica as a Category 5 storm. Your first alert meteorologist, Wes White, of course, watching every move of this history-making storm, and of course, our weather too, Wes.
Yeah, it's something about this region, Sarah. When Wilma moved through this part of the Caribbean, it had pressure levels below 900 millibars. Of course, when it made landfall, nothing like this. The pressure level at landfall, 892 millibars. That ties with the Labor Day hurricane of 1935, back before we even named tropical systems here in the Atlantic Basin. So it's one of the ties for the most powerful on record at landfall as it moved into Jamaica. It's still a Cat 4. If you're tracking along with us on the First Alert Weather app, if you go to the radar portion, you can zoom in. Had someone reached out and was talking about the vacation plans to the Turks and Caicos, and it looks like it's going to stay just north and west of there, but moving across, here's the Bahamas, the southern Bahamas, and then out over the Atlantic. But it does stay well south and east of our region, and the reason for that, we have a system moving in right now. As we sort of reset the data here, go back over to radar, we do have some showers starting to move in back in areas to the north and west. The rain is going to fill in. We've got a big trough. It's going to build in, holding down the temperatures and just make for a cold, rainy setup. This is going to set in tonight, be with us throughout tomorrow, also Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. So a first alert for more rain. Here it comes as we look at the forecast data, future radar. There's midnight tonight, off and on rain overnight. Just light rain, but premium sleeping weather basically. You can see around 9 o'clock in the morning we have low 50s, and some of us tomorrow, when you have a lot of this cold air aloft like this, you get what's called dynamic cooling. Basically, it just keeps the temperatures down all day, so we really don't have a chance to heat up, and we're going to have highs staying in the 40s, so it's going to feel like winter across Alabama. So break out the long sleeves, a heavy jacket, in addition to that umbrella. I mean, notice there's 1 o'clock. Watch as we go to 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. You see we've got rain and temperatures in the 40s, and this is the kind of setup. If it were January, we'd be talking about a chance of snow, but not in this situation. It's all liquid precipitation as it moves through, but that system rotates out of here. We have clouds, we have 40s, and some leftover mist, drizzle, dreary start again early Thursday morning, but it will be Friday before we really start to clear out, and that's why we're concerned. We're already going to be chilly. Temperatures go even lower there by Friday morning, and a first frost likely across areas to the north. That's why we've called a first alert weather day for Halloween. Next big thing, that threat of frost early in the day. Rest of the day looks fine. Sunshine comes back. Temperatures top out around 61 degrees, but nice weather, dry conditions for trick-or-treating Friday evening. If you have plans, no rain expected. We clear out. Saturday looks dry, but then Sunday and into Monday and next week, as I said, buckle up. You know, we're entering that active fall pattern. We're now seeing signals of another disturbance that might squeeze out a few showers, especially for areas to the south. So I'm watching Sunday and Monday, try to get a better handle on what we're seeing there and into next week. But temperatures look to stay in the 60s for highs, overnight lows in the 40s. So giving you the first alert, check again the weather app. We also update the 10-day forecast. So as soon as we have updates, we'll pass that along on your mobile device. And we'll have more on the extended forecast, of course, coming up on Weather Extra.
Breaking from the First Alert Desk, where we're learning new developments in the case of a Fayette County 1-year-old missing for over a year and believed to be dead. A motion has once again been granted to continue the case against Wendy Bailey, the mother of Caleb Collins. Bailey's attorney saying the state has not provided discovery and the defense is still gathering records. The district attorney did not oppose the motion. From the First Alert Desk, I'm Taylor Pollock.
Well, breaking right now, we have just learned multiple law enforcement agencies working together to arrest an Alabama man who they say was planning attacks on synagogues throughout our state. Well, the suspect, who has not been identified, was arrested at a home in Needham in Choctaw County. Investigators say they found weapons in a suitcase full of ammunition, body armor, and other items. The sheriff department says further investigation revealed the subject had intentions of not being taken alive and was possibly planning attacks on public figures as well. Governor Kay Ivey says she has no plans to call a special legislative session after Alabama Democrats called on her to do so to ensure SNAP benefits continue in our state. For the 13th time, lawmakers on Capitol Hill failed to advance a Republican-backed funding bill to end the government shutdown. A spokesperson for the Alabama Senate Democratic Caucus saying that when Washington fails, Alabama must step up and protect families, small businesses, and local economies. This comes after the Trump administration announced emergency funding would not be used to maintain the benefits nationwide amid the government shutdown. State Senator Robert Stewart on why he's calling for a special session.
We need to come together as a state and not let Washington politics dictate and heavily influence us taking care of Alabamians.
Well, a spokesperson for the governor telling us the program is 100% federally funded and issued a statement that reads in part, quote, while the state does not have extra money to do Congress's job, Governor Ivey hopes to see U.S. Senate Democrats get on board to reopen the federal government, end quote. Well, breaking right now, as we told you, we are looking at some of the damage and flooding across Jamaica just after Hurricane Melissa made landfall on the island nation as a Category 5 storm. Look at the whitecaps on that water as it's rising there. That storm surge is really serious there. The storm bringing sustained winds of up to 185 miles per hour. We are already getting reports of damage to homes, schools, and hospitals. There's also the risk of powerful storm surges we talked about, 13 foot as we heard, and landslides. And as you can imagine, Americans visiting Jamaica are very anxious ahead of that storm while also praying for those who are there.
The anxiety of the waiting for it, when's it going to happen, not being able to sleep and unsure if we're going to have power, if we're going to be able to reach our families, those types of things. And concern for the people that live here as well.
Cuba, Turks and Caicos, and other islands are also in the storm's path. Well, tonight from Anniston, a Little Caesars pizza employee is recovering after a shooting Monday night. Investigators are telling us this was an ongoing fight between 4 people. Investigators inviting your East Alabama reporter, Reggie Kyle, in to see the video inside the restaurant.
No, I do not feel comfortable coming back to work after something like that happened because that was my best friend.
Anniston police say Monday night, shortly after 7 p.m., 2 employees at the Little Caesars Pizza on Quintard Avenue in Anniston were assaulted by 2 17-year-olds. Shots were exchanged and an employee, who police say was armed, was hit twice. We're told he's being treated at UAB.
I feel like it should never happen at work, pulling up to somebody's job, doing that. I feel like you could have handled it outside, even a fight. I feel like it should never happen at work. Watching the surveillance video with Anniston Police Chief Nick Bowles, it clearly shows the 2 teens entered the lobby area, with one of them going behind the counter and immediately punches the employee. Shortly after, that's when the shooting begins.
This is the shooter with the Draco. He's got it concealed under his shirt. This is the other kid with no mask on. You're going to see him come around here. Guy with the mask pulls out the Draco, and as you saw, he shot in his own buddy's direction. Right.
With the fight ending and shots fired, the teens are seen running outside the restaurant with the wounded employee collapsing on the ground behind them and returning gunfire.
And he takes at least another shot as he's leaving with the Draco. There's his buddy, gets up and runs, and then he's on the ground, still armed, and takes a couple of shots at him.
Now he's hit at this point.
He is.
Well, you saw Reggie Kyle there at the police headquarters there in Anniston, and while he was there, one of those teenagers walked in with a relative and turned himself in. The chief says that teenager will be charged as an adult with assault first degree. The other juvenile has not or has been identified. We're getting an update now on Jefferson County's efforts to clean up your waterways. Now, we told you the county partnered with Osprey Initiative for litter getters. They say litter getters help to remove more than 9,300 pounds of materials from our rivers and creeks. They were able to recycle 1,700 pounds of those materials. County leaders say Osprey will also start helping families recycle next year during household drop-off days. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of 6 on Your Side. We're right back here at 6:30 for First Alert Weather Extra. A lot to talk about there. And we're back on air after Game 4 of the World Series. Hopefully not 18 innings.